Hey yo guys, how's it going? Tally here, and today I'm going to bring you the 100 duels Fluffal deck list. Is this roughly a month late? Yes. Am I sorry? Yes. Let's dive into the deck profile. If you like it, make sure to show it some love in the comments and with a like. Alrighty, so Fluffals are pretty basic, alright, pretty standard. We have our Fluffal Dog, he is our Stratos of the archetype, and he is the bestest of boys. We have Fluffal Penguin, which is to your hero players like a liquid soldier. You draw two and discard one when it's used as fusion material. We have Fluffal Bear, which grabs our toy vendor, which by the way, amazing. Not once per turn searcher, the deck searches a lot. We have Fluffal Owl, which can grab as a polymerization. Gonna be honest, I don't know how much I like this card. I think if I could cut it entirely I would, but you kinda need a decent amount of Fluffal names that actually do things. Also, we have a Fluffal Sheep, which is just a good boy. It's a generic extender. If you have a Fluffal, you can special summon Fluffal Sheep, which allows you to go into some of your cards like Cross Sheep or Predaplant Verte Anaconda. We also have a single Fluffal Wings, because I think if you need to resolve this more than once, you should have already won the game by now. Like, this is just nuts amounts of pluses. And we have a Fluffal Dolphin. By the way, just in case you don't know what Fluffal Wings does, essentially you send a toy vendor to the graveyard, you draw and then you draw, and then a toy vendor gets you a search, so you're going +2. But you have to banish this, plus another Fluffal from the graveyard. Spoilers, it's usually going to be Fluffal Bear. Now for our edge jumps we have Free Chain. Chain is a good boy. Chain searches out your Frightfur cards such as Fusion, Patchwork, and even Repair if you have to go for that. We have Edge Imp Sabres, which, to be quite frank, is an okay extender, but the big thing is that it gives you access to two of the best cards in the extra deck, and you can use it twice in one turn for a full board wipe plus OTK. And also we have Edge Imp Scythe, which is the newest Edge Imp, and by god if it is not amazing. It's essentially a hand trap that allows you to essentially Frightfur Cruel Whale during your opponent's turn, and then that means that you're able to go ahead and pop a card during their turn, and it will protect your Frightfur Cruel Whale if you've got no other cards to pop. Also, we're running a Fluffal Cat because look how cute this card is. It's adorable. So you can target one polymerization and add it to your hand, so that you're not as reliant on searching loads and loads of polys. You get a little bit of recycling on the one that you've got. Now for our spells we have Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor is the heart and soul of this deck. Its first effect is okay, in conjunction with things like Edge Imp Chain, because you can discard a card, draw a card, and if it's a Fluffal you can special summon a card. Realistically though, it's not always a Fluffal and sometimes you just go neg, but I like to use it with Chain because Chain's then going to search you something like Patchwork and then you're going to go ahead and just go mental following that. We're also running Free Poly because the curse of this deck is that you really want to see it. It's not always super available, right? So you want to get as many of these as possible because you're always going to be using 1, 2, maybe even 3 during the course of your combo. The unfortunate side effect of this is Free Poly's bricky. Right, Free Poly is really bricky, you can in fact draw multiples, and sometimes you just need to see one and a couple extra extenders, and you don't, and that's the unfortunate part. But because this deck is really good at searching, we also have 2 Foolish Burial Goods, just as an additional way to get Toy Vendor into the graveyard, because when Toy Vendor goes to the graveyard, you get to search out either Sabres or a Fluffal, which by the way, is amazing, right? Don't know if you know, these cards are amazing. And then for everything else we have Free Frightfur Patchwork, because it's the heart and soul of the deck. You get to search out a Poly plus an Edge Imp, any Edge Imp. You have Frightfur Fusion, which you can use once you've done a little bit of shenanigans. You can get it off a Chain or you can get it off a Verte Anaconda. We have Repair, which really is just more of a target for our Cruel Whale to send. And then we also have Free Forbidden Droplet. That card's really expensive, and it's the reason why I'm not doing this deck profile with real cards. Second time I've told that joke this week. There's the other video if you want to check it out. And of course, we're also playing Free Infinite Impermanence because I think this is an evergreen trap card. It's never going to be bad. It's a hand trap, and it's also a good trap if you set it. Now for our extra deck we are running 1 Verte for our Polys or for our Frightfur Fusion. I do like it with a Frightfur Fusion. We're running 1 Cross Sheep, we're running 1 Appaloosa, 2 Sabertooth, 2 Kraken, Free Whale, and 1 Wolf. This card's so good. And a Tiger. So let's go through what these do really quick. So this is a monster reborn, plus if it's been summoned using free fusion materials, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effect, which is pretty nifty. Also, all Frightfur monsters you control gain 400 extra attack points. This card gets to attack twice, and it can also send not destroy, but send one of your opponent's monsters to the graveyard. If it does that though, it cannot attack twice that turn, unless you send it to the graveyard and then revive it because it's considered a different card. It's lovely, so you can actually send and attack twice if you're smart. We've already mentioned Cruel Whale a little bit, but essentially you summon this, you pop a card on your opponent's side of the field, pop a card on your side of the field. If you're going first, then you can set up a couple things like Toy Vendor just so that you're not actually negging and you're continuing to plus. And then of course we have Wolf, which is able to attack your opponent for as many times as it has fusion materials. And also we have Tiger, which is able to pop monsters up to the amount of fusion materials it's got. So one of my favourite combos in the deck is to go with, so it's got to be Sabres. So like Sabres, Pauline with like 2-3 other monsters, and then summoning out Tiger just to pop your opponent's entire field. And then you can grab Frightfur fusion off of like Verti Anaconda with Wolf. And then because your opponent has like no monsters on field, go Frightfur fusion into like a 5 material wolf and just attack them again and again and again and again. Then just for some generic cards, I like Abyss Dweller, it's pretty good. I like Titanic Galaxy, Hope Harbinger, big dragony boy. And very fun dragon. This card is going to get banned, I guarantee it. And if it doesn't get banned, then I will eat, I guess I'll eat a card. Come back after the ban list and tell me how it went. Okay, and you can make this with 2 Cruel Whales. For our side deck, again, I always say this is fluid, play the best side deck for you, but for this deck I like Pinkertops, I like Nibiru, I like Ash, again, these are interchangeable. I like Harpy's Feather Duster quite a lot, I like Cosmic Cyclone. Red Reboot's so good in this deck because you're just ending games. And if you're forced to go first, Solemn Judgment isn't a bad choice, but I wouldn't go first with this deck. It's not made to go first unless you specifically build it to go first. It does have a lot of good, ways to like dig into the deck with Wings and Penguin, but the deck just needs as many cards in hand as possible to start your turn, so it's always preferable to go second with this deck. Alrighty, that's the deck profile. I thought I would get it out of the way quickly because I want to make sure that everyone has access to what I'm using. So let's take it to the outro. Guys, that is the video. I very much hope you enjoyed the deck profile. As always, if you like it, give it a like. If you love it, give it a share and tell everyone you know about Team Tally today. And if you haven't joined Team Tally, rectify that mistake by hitting the subscribe button down below. As always, make sure to comment what you think about the deck. And as always, you have been amazing. I have been Tally. Catch you later. Bye.